Alrighty, this is part two of Provo High School's May 2026 parent meeting. This next section is purely about marching band. And first off, I want to introduce some of the people that make this happen. On our design team, Peter Bates is our drill writer. This is his ninth or 10th year now. He's been with Provo for a long time. He worked with Provo a long time ago before he achieved a lot of these big benchmarks in his life. He works with Boston Crusaders. They just won the DCI World Championship. And we're really grateful to have Peter still contributing his experience and his passion with Provo High School. He also works with Matrix Indoor Percussion. They had one of the most expansive and unique design concepts in the indoor percussion scene this year. Up next, we have our composer, Bradley Sampson. He has a wide resume as well, from his performance experience in winds and percussion, as well as his education at BYU, as well as University of Utah. He's taught all over the country, very similar to Peter's work, and his job is to help take our music ideas and put them in the way that will help our students be the most successful. Then here's me. Pictures from high school and college, and right after I graduated. I was born in Michigan, raised in Missouri. I marched drum corps many moons ago, and I attended Missouri State University, and then graduated from Brigham Young University. So I have a bit of a secular education and a sacred education for students that are looking at college in either direction. I'm going into my 7th year at Provo High School. My job is to be the bridge between the design team, Bradley and Peter, and we're going to introduce Abden in a minute, where they bring the concepts together, and then I work with the staff or the instructional team to teach those concepts. I mentioned Abden just a second ago. He is he is the program coordinator for Provo High School. Abden works as a bridge, similar to myself, between the design and the instructional team. He works with coming up with images, field layout, choreography, aligning music and visual moments on the field. He also does a lot of assessment for our program of analyzing, hey, over here on this part of the field, at this part of the show, we need to fix our visual elements or our musical elements. This is a new role that we have at Provo High School that I think will empower especially our instructional team, to teach at a higher level. Moving to a new role this year is our percussion director, Justin Taylor. This will be Justin's 6th year with Provo High School. He's been with us for a long time as the battery instructor, and the last several years he's taken on additional roles while still trying to also maintain his drumline instructing responsibilities. And in an effort to give the drumline specific dedicated attention, as well as empowering Justin to do the things that has made our band so great, we're moving him to the percussion director slot. He is also a Vader percussion educator, as I mentioned in the first video. His ability to teach percussion has been recognized at a high level, which has enabled us to receive some high quality material at a lower cost to your students. By day, he teaches social studies and percussion at Orem Junior High, on top of his work with Provo City Indoor Percussion and Marching Band and Horizon Indoor Percussion, which had a historic season this year. He is from my Midwest rival, Indiana. He and his wife Maya welcomed their first child back in 2025. Their kid is adorable, but that's Justin. I don't have a slide for our next person. I am so sorry. Stepping into the drumline instructor role is Provo High. Excuse me. Is Provo High alum Mercer Knowlton. He, like Justin, has a wide array of percussion teaching and performing experience that he's bringing to bear with Provo High School. Skipping around the band sections a little bit, next we have Rhonda Sider. 2026 will be her 3rd year at Provo High. She's a proud mom of 4. She finished her music ed degree at UVU and then found her calling in special ed, where she works as a paraeducator. Her main instrument is the bassoon or percussion or clarinet or tenor saxophone or singing. She's a wonderfully musical lady. Up next, in the color guard caption, we have Kayla Jukes. She's a 2018 Provo High alum. She's been doing color guard for over 10 years, performed with Wasatch Independent, Pride of Utah, Battalion, and has coached here at Provo as well as at Brighton High School. And quite most adorably, Kayla's a cat mom. And Lacey Olson is back. Lacey previously coached with Provo High for 3 seasons during 2024 and 2025. Lacey's also a Provo High alum. She graduated from BYU in 2023 with a bachelor's in English, and she works as a podcast writer for LaunchPod. She lives in Orem with her husband and their adorable 2.5-year-old son. He's growing. Coming back to the percussion section, we have Jessie Santamaria Whitaker with the front ensemble. Jessie graduated from Timpview. We don't hold it against her. She has several degrees across environmental science and management and now social work. And she's been finishing up that degree and beginning work in that area with different schools across southern Salt Lake County and into Utah County. Really glad to have Jessie with her multi-pronged approach to the mental, the emotional, the percussion effects across, again, over a decade of percussion teaching. So we're glad to have Jessie with us as well. We are still hiring one more instructor. We're looking for a visual caption head. There is a link. I'm not sure if I can find it. Dang it. But yeah, if you enter this title, marching, dance, choreography, body movement, or this particular title, instructional assistant 3, at the provo.edu website, you should be able to find it. Or feel free to email me directly and I'll send you the link. We're looking for someone with experience in these categories. They need to be 21 by November 15th, 2025. And most importantly, they need to pass a criminal background check because they'll be working with our students. Moving forward, parents, we need your help. We're looking at some different items this year that might help us out. One item that I've been approached about in the past, but we haven't had the bandwidth to make it happen, is we're looking at the potential of using an ATV and a small trailer with it. Not like the big trailer that we use to haul all the stuff, but like a little flat trailer. If you have means to help out with that or you're interested, please talk to me. It doesn't need to be bibbed. Basically, it's like a catch so that the oil doesn't drip straight on the field, because we'll be at public high schools and they don't want that on their track or on their football fields. We're also looking for pneumatic or air-filled wheels. I'll spare you the policy nerdiness of this, but for props we put on the field, that we're looking at using air-filled based on national standards that they're looking at for props. And for our particular show this year, we're looking for picnic benches and party supplies. Now keep in mind with either of these are things you're willing to give away. They'll be used by high schoolers. The benches might be jumped on, so things you're willing to send off into the sunset. What else? I did not come from means as a child. I grew up quite impoverished, and my mom always made a point to tell me, if you don't have money to give your time. And so she showed me that of giving time and showing up and volunteering regularly. And so if I don't have an ATV, but I've got a Saturday when I can come help, we would love to have your help with that. There's several opportunities all throughout the season. During band camp, I asked parents to come help serve dinner, and it might be one of those cases of, hey, if we buy the pulled pork, will you smoke it and serve the kids? That takes a tremendous load off of the instructional staff as well as other parents, and we can kind of all work together to make sure that our students are served the best way possible. We do the same things at home football games where we make sure the kids are fed and then be ready to play. Same thing when we travel and compete. We try to make sure that the kids have a solid hot meal at these competitions. Sometimes we just do pizza, but I try to avoid that as much as possible, and that's really based on how many parents are available to help cook the food, serve the food, etc. If you plan to go to St. George to watch state finals, they even have a fundraising option there where you sign up to help run the state event. Like, hey, I will stand by the gate and make sure everyone has their armband, or I'll stand by this space and make sure that no one goes through, or I'll guide guests over this way, whatever they ask you to do. And in return, they give you a free ticket to the show. And they make sure that your work shift isn't during Provo High's performance shift. And they take your volunteer hours and they divide it out pro rata across all the volunteer hours, and then they send that money to our band program. Some years we've made over $1,000 with that. So as soon as I get that link, I'll get that to the parents. And if you're planning to travel, I would really encourage people to sign up for that. And I mentioned earlier about different event and hosting options. We are not hosting a marching competition this year, just to say that out loud. um, but there are other possibilities of us hosting events that would require parent volunteers to pull this off. Um, the summer band schedule. Um, we are doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 9 to noon, the first 2 weeks of June, and then we have a parade on Saturday, that second Saturday of June. Orem Fest is an evening parade. I have a meeting, I think, in about a week and a half where I'll get the specific details of where they want us and when. But for right now, I would block off that 5 to 9 window where we'll probably meet at Provo High, get on the bus. I believe it's a 7 p.m. step off, and then so we should be done by 9 o'clock before that. That's kind of like a extra bookend just to make sure we're out by 9. Then we take a week off. There's a Mountain West leadership camp. I should have done a whole separate slide for this because this year it is amazing. There's a leadership camp like always, so drum majors, captains, section leaders, they should all go to that. There's also a color guard track. It's not a captain's track, it's just a color guard track. Hey, you want to do color guard better? Show up for it. It's awesome. This year they've added a percussion track. You want to drum better? You're not the drum captain, you're not center snare, you just want to drum good. They brought in Colin and McNutt, the percussion captain head with Boston Crusaders, to run the percussion camp this summer. There's some seniors that are a little upset. Why didn't we get this guy? Because he is so amazing. So if you're a percussionist and you've got the week, sign up for it. I forgot the date off the top of my head. Let me pull it up. To be specific, it is June 16th through 18th. So look that up. It's hosted at American Fork High School. It is a great opportunity. After that's over, we come back and we have 3 rehearsals that next week. And then we do the children's parade. That starts at Memorial Park on the east side of Provo. That is one of those events where we'll just meet there because it's in Provo. It's a very short parade. We should be done, really, we're usually done by like 11 or 11:30. Core Encore, this year is the year of unfortunate scheduling, and none of it's my fault, I swear. Most of these choices were not mine. These are the choices that were hoisted upon me. Core Encore is Sunday, June 28th at Weber State. I don't know why they picked that day of all days in Utah of all states, but that's when it is. It's not a formal band event in any way, but it is a great opportunity to see some of the best marching arts in the world right here in Utah. The week after that, we have 3 more days of summer band, and then the Freedom Festival on July 4th. That's a Saturday. We'll meet at Provo High, 7 a.m. bright and early. We do the parade. Again, we're typically done before noon, but that gives us a bit of a backdrop to finish by. Some common questions. For summer band, there is no fee for summer band. I don't charge kids to do this. You should bring your own sunglasses, sunscreen, water bottle, athletic clothes, marching shoes, things like that. They don't have to be official marching shoes, but we're going to get a lot of time out on the blacktop. I would not bring your fancy Jordans. They'll get chewed up. Please sign up for summer band. That gives me a bit of a mind's eye of like how many popsicles we need to get, waters, Gatorades, things like that. Do we need 1 bus, 2 buses, and so on. And keep in mind, summer band is aggressively open. I realize there are a lot of folks who want to do marching band, but don't have the time to do it, don't have the money to do it, but they still want to be a part of it. You can do summer band and then not do marching band. I hope you do, but that is a possibility. Likewise, if you're a middle schooler, come do come do summer band with us. You're not eligible to do marching band in the fall yet, but you can still do the summer stuff with us. What if I can't make it to all the rehearsals? Summer band is supposed to be flexible. So if you already have girls camp, trek, EFY, family reunion, stuff like that, please go to that, take pictures, and then come back and tell us about it. Hey, I got to go out to Minnesota for my family reunion. Cool. That's part of this social experience that we have in band. The one exception, unfortunately, is UVU prep. Now, I say that with a caveat. I have no issue with UVU prep. Every single student that has worked with Provo High School marching band that had to miss summer band because of UVU prep has been among my favorite students. So, unfortunately, because of how UVU prep schedule works, with summer band, you're not able to do both. You're still welcome to come to the parades, or if there is a no school day that day, you're welcome to pop on by and support us, say hi to your friends, but you likely won't be able to attend the rehearsals and perform while also going to UVU prep. My recommendation is go to UVU prep, enjoy it, learn a lot of things, and then do it the next year that you're available. Band camp. Now keep in mind, band camp is just for the high schoolers as we get ready for our fall marching band program. This year it runs August 3rd through August 8th. That's Monday through Saturday. It's basically all day. We have a couple late starts to allow students to rest and recover, but it's pretty much all day, every day, all week. This was a compromise that we made a couple years ago when we needed to consolidate from 2 weeks to 1 week based on travel schedules, summer schedules, but also the need to get a lot of our content done. During band camp, we learn a majority of the show and our techniques and our procedures. That way, as we receive more of the show, we can install it quickly and effectively and have a good season. For band camp, students need to bring a large water jug. Mr. Muscles over here, big old Gatorade water bottle. That's not a big enough water bottle. We're talking like a full-on gallon-sized jug. Athletic clothes, durable shoes. We're going to spend a lot of time on our feet and outside and moving around. Yes, even in the front ensemble. Please note, flip-flops are not athletic shoes. Crocs are not athletic shoes. By all means, feel free to bring them if you need to adjust something for your feet, but you need to have tennis shoes, durable shoes for outside. Sunscreen, sunglasses, and or a hat. Despite being an instructor with plenty of melanin, I have received several sunburns in Utah. Please bring sunscreen. Likewise, make sure your instrument is in good repair. It'd be a shame to show up to band camp, but your saxophone needs one of its pads changed or something like that. You also need to have a handheld notebook. They're about 3 to 5, 4 to 6 inches. These are affectionately called dot books. We spend about 200 hours between band camp and all of our rehearsals through the season learning and practicing and mastering this show to get ready for state finals in November. Thinking of like your history classes, your chemistry classes, your English classes, if you don't have notes about all of those hundreds of hours you've invested, it makes those investments less effective. So in order to be at our maximum efficiency, to remember and perform at our very best, we need to have these dot books. And of course, to write in those books, you need a pencil. Actually, just point of emphasis, I didn't share this in the in-person meeting. Pencils. The students that have been in my class have seen me almost insistently, compulsively, nope, here's a pencil. Stop everything I'm doing to make sure that we're writing things down so we can be effective about it. Coffee pause. This video brought to you by coffee. Anyway, regular season. So this year we've changed up our rehearsal schedule a little bit based on our staff availability as well as our facilities availability. Excuse me. Our normal schedule is Monday 6 to 9 with everybody and Thursday with everybody 6 to 9. Those are our two main rehearsals where everyone is together in one spot. I've asked the caption heads to have sectionals 1 to 2 hours a week outside of that. I don't know what times those will be. Some folks may choose to do them before full band. I hope not, because that could turn into a long day, but some people might need to do that. They could do it on a Tuesday, or on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday. Maybe not a Friday because we have games that night, but if Friday right before our game rehearsal, that could work. Same thing with Saturdays. We typically have competitions Saturday, but we need to make sure that we're ready for those. My one ask is that it's not during rehearsal or school or on Sundays. But those sectionals function as our third rehearsal. Just like these regular rehearsals, if students miss one rehearsal during the week, whether it be a full band rehearsal or a sectional, they have to pass off their content before performing that week. If they miss 2 rehearsals in 1 week, they are not eligible to perform. My apologies for not having that typed out in front of everybody, but like I said in the first video about you've got to be there. Must be present to win. And then if you miss a performance because you've missed rehearsals, if you do that twice, you're not eligible for St. George. I say 200 hours and it sounds like a lot of time. We really only have maybe 50 rehearsals. I'm thinking less than that. And if people are missing 4 or 5 of them, they're missing 10% of the season, that doesn't set us up for success. It doesn't set the student up for success or their peers. Game days and Saturdays. Our football and competition schedule is a little dicey this year. I'll cover that in a minute. But we will typically meet around 4 o'clock on game day just to get a quick run through on the turf, grab some food, and get ready for the football game. Saturdays, we might have what I call a pickup rehearsal in the morning if time allows. I'm not going to ask us to get there at 4 in the morning for a pickup rehearsal. I'm pretty sure that would break noise ordinances, let alone any of our energy pools for the day. We have a bit of a conundrum. Fall break for Provo City School District was moved this year. I don't know why that choice was made. I didn't make that choice, but our fall break is different this year. Alpine School District has theirs a week before, or sorry, what will be Aspen Peaks District. So Skyridge, AF, Lone Peak. And this is relevant because we have multiple staff members that work outside of Provo District, as well as parents who work outside of Provo District. And this is especially important to me because last year, our attendance the week before and the week after fall break was below 80%. I know we competed in a difficult division, but if we don't show up and we're not there, that limits our ability to succeed before we even get on the field. So I want to make sure we get this fall break situation lined up clearly. I don't have a definitive answer right this second on May 10th as of recording. My goal is to have a definitive answer out to families before we leave for summer, so May 22nd. There's a couple options that we have. The one I'm looking at right now is a normal rehearsal schedule leading up to the break. Then we take fall break off and not attend the American Fork competition, which is during our fall break. And then we would return to rehearsals on October 27th. The critical part is that if we do that, there's only 6 school days between fall break and state this year. There's a real possibility, or in my brain even probability, of us rehearsing through fall break this year, and taking that weekend off where we don't have a competition and say, hey, we're going to take this weekend off of band stuff, but still going through fall break this year. So this is the end of my slideshow for today. A couple action items. You are likely getting this video in an email. I hope you're not listening to it at like 2.0 speed because I tend to talk fast already and I'm fully caffeinated. But take a second, make sure that you are registered for marching band. I will include a link for show music for fall 2026, and then take a look at the calendars for the year to make sure that the rehearsals line up so far. Sectional times will be decided during band camp based on the students that are there and the staff members' availability. But summer band, band camp, and the regular season. Okay. If you have any questions, whether you're reaching out to volunteer, if you've got an ATV that we can use, things like that, if you've got fundraising ideas, please send them to me via email at devenh@provo.edu. I'm sorry this went so long. I hope it was helpful for folks who were able to make it to our meeting, and have a great day.